everyone, it is Laura Barkman with LB Unleash Your Creativity, and I am here today pre-recording this video for our weekly Facebook Live, the last week of July, which is also the last week of my Christmas in July series, getting you started on your Christmas cards a little bit earlier so that there is, or your holiday cards if you're not celebrating Christmas, it could be any holiday around the winter time, but we want to prepare you so you are not making those at the absolute last minute, which I know a lot of us do. So we are working on those today. I am going to use the Kindest Gnomes stamp set again this week, and I have a really cool technique coming to you that I have cased from Alison Okamitsu, and I absolutely loved what she thought of doing with designer series paper, and wanted to try it out myself. Now my design is completely different from hers, but I am using her technique. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pop my camera down below, and I realize I have not taken out any inks yet. So let me do that while you guys are changing screens. And that one is Memento, of course. So what we are going to do is just pull in this beautiful plaid. Well, it's not plaid yet, it's just stripes. It's actually a gingham pattern, and I'm going to make it into a plaid pattern. And this again was Alison's idea, and she did it with several different plaid patterns with this paper. I think it was brilliant. I'm going to use one, and I have to say this paper immediately also reminded me of buffalo plaid. It just needs color instead of the white behind it. So that's what I'm going to do. She does have a video out on YouTube if you want to go and check it out. I'm sure you can search it on YouTube to see all of her other plaid ideas. I may incorporate some of those into some of my other cards throughout the season because they are super cool. And they're not ones that I could do in a class. They're just ones that I could do on a project like this because of the number of papers I would need to do it with multiple people. So we're going to do it here today, and we're also going to do a little bit of coloring. So tonight is going to be a bit of a longer video. So if you're joining me quote unquote live to watch my pre-recorded video, then you may want to gather the supplies and work with me, or just sit back, relax, and watch, and then create your own a little bit later. So what I'm going to do first of all is create the buffalo plaid that I want here. And I debated if I wanted to do it in like a green or crushed curry for buffalo plaid. Oh my gosh, there was a shirt that I wanted to buy a few years ago. Still kick myself to this day for not going ahead and purchasing it, but it was in a lovely, beautiful crushed curry kind of color, and it looked so nice and warm. Pardon me, this paper made me think of it. So all I'm going to do is take a little bit of ink, and I'm just going to dab it off on my block so that I'm not wasting it, but I can pick that up after. And we're just going to fill in the white. So I'm going to start off my paper, and I'm just going to go over this designer series paper, and I do want it to be quite saturated. So I maybe didn't even have to tap off as much as I did. Let's pick this up and just move that out of the way. I don't think I'm going to need to tap off because, like I said, I want this quite saturated with color. So we're going to just keep adding until we get the desired effect. And the ink does sort of blend out as you are working with it. So you can be you don't have to be quite so careful. It might look blotchy when you're applying that ink with your blending brush, but it does sort of level out, much like latex paint does on the wall. So that's what we are working on here. I just want to make sure I get even coverage all over the card, and my paper is slipping on me. I did cut this piece to 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and I'm going to layer it on a very fine matte. So, and then that's going to be layered, I think, on a black card base, which is kind of an unusual color when you're thinking of a Christmas card. But Make sure if you're going to do that, you want to make sure you layer your inside of that black piece of cardstock with a piece of white so that there is something, to use to write with. That's because the paper is starting to get really saturated and a little bit wet, and it's easier to bend. So I'm using the Stampin' Up! Blending brushes. Again, I'm doing this in Cherry Cobbler. And right now, just using that Gingham Cottage paper in the black with the white and blending some cherry in behind there. Oh, darn. And look at how beautiful that looks. And you can almost not see the little splotch that I made there. So let's set that aside and let that dry, because it is pretty wet, which is why I'm getting that, was getting that paper rolling up when I was blending it. Right, cleaning off my blending brush because I did have a lot of ink on there. That's going to go away. My Envirocloth, microfiber cloth is going to go away as well, as is my ink. And we are going to pull our Memento ink in. I'm going to get rid of this for now. And we're going to pull in our little Gnome guys. And I just want to clean up this block. It's got a bit of a red tinge to it, and I'm just going to attach my stamps here, so I want to make sure it's good and clean. And I'm going to do 2 different gnomes. I was thinking of doing the guy that is sitting down. I know we did him last time, but that's quite alright. I was going to do him and then the gnome with the lantern. I don't know if we have room for 3 gnomes. I can always try 3 gnomes. So let's prep 3 gnomes. Let's do these guys. And let me get my stickers on them. Okay, so this guy is this one here. And this could be a super fast card if you have the designer series paper and you were to just go ahead and cut some of these little gnomes out of there. You could totally make this super fast and easy. This guy's the other one that doesn't have that sticker on the back yet. I usually prep all my stamps at the same time, but I just haven't had a chance yet. I've been so busy trying to pre-record things, get some things ready for my team while I'm gone, or just before I leave, and get my newsletter and everything out. So hopefully you've received all the information you should have by now. All right, let's take, these are the 2 I was going to use. So let's do them first. I'm not even sure if I have enough room on this piece of paper. I know he fits that way and he fits that way. But maybe if we're going to do that one, let's do it different. There's always tons of cardstock in my scrap drawer, so yeah, this will work. All right, let's take you and put this little gnome down here. Okay. Just my baby wipes if I have it handy. And then let's take this guy and just add him right beside. Okay, that worked. And then I'm going to take my little guy that's sitting down and add him right there too. So now I should be able to cut all 3 of those out in one go. And while we're stamping, let's just close up that Memento, bring in that Cherry Cobbler again, and I have pre-cut this little greeting label from the seasonal greetings, seasonal labels dies, And these guys match up. Whoops. That doesn't stick. At least put it in front though. Come on. There it is. Tape has lost its stickiness. That's fine. They match this stamp set. So let's go ahead and stamp Friends Like You are the reason the season sparkles, I think is what it says. Friends Like You make this season sparkle. So I thought because we have a couple of gnomes on here, that would be kind of cute. And it fits quite nicely in this label piece. It's not one that it was intended to fit in, but it'll work really well for this particular, oh, it's a little crooked. Oh well. It'll work particularly well for this stamp, for this card, because I am going to put my gnomes. I could put one on the other side. I don't know. I have a picture in my head, but we'll see what it looks like once we actually get these gnomes. Whoo! Almost dumped that ink pad. Once we get these gnomes colored. So, because my background is red, I know I'm going to want to use some red on these guys. So let's pull in. Well, this might be kind of fun. These are in colors. I know that sorbet or sorbet goes well. I don't know if that means in neutral. Let's just pull all of our blends in. I'm specifically looking for my ivory, which I swear is in here the other day when we were coloring. Oh, it's there. Okay, so we definitely need that one. And I just want to grab my other little coat here. Got blends in all kinds of different tastes. Okay, so let's go ahead and use, pull out a couple things here. Parakeet, yeah, that'll work. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and use these first. So the first thing I'm gonna do is make myself some space. I'm gonna go ahead, use the ivory, and I'm gonna color their faces. So for the most part, that's just noses. On this guy, there's some eyes there. We're gonna use the paintbrush tip and just color him in. Just like that. Noses are really quick to do. Now, if you wanted to create some shadowing on these noses, what you would do, where do I want some shadow? Maybe along here. So it'd be a little bit of shadow from the hat. So I'm just going to color that and I'm going to let it dry. We're going to come over here to this guy and color in his little face, and we're going to color in his nose. Just like that. And maybe he's got a little bit of shadow just across the top of his lips there. So this guy, that shadow disappeared a little bit. We're just going to add a little bit more of the blend. And then same thing here. It's going to be super subtle, guys. You're probably not even going to be able to see it on the video. Let me see if I can lift that up. You do. You see it a little bit on this one, not as much on this one. I do want to be careful because I do have some running ink. I probably didn't wait wet long enough for my sets to dry here. Let's give a couple of these gnomes, let's give them wrong ends some red knit. So I'm just using the dark to create some shading on that guy. And let's use it on this guy's pants. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this guy yet, but if I do, he's going to be already and colored. And if I don't, then I can use him on another card. So now I'm going to bring in the lighter sorbet, and I'm just going to finish the knit by going over that dark color with the white and pulling the color out into the rest of the image. Same thing on the pants here. Just gonna go over that dark area and pull the color forward into the rest of the pants. And I completely put my pen down in the wrong spot, and there is a big red splotch there. So we're going to take out the color lifter, and I'm just going to push that color back to where I want it. So this is like an eraser pen. I'm going to keep that out because I'm sure it's not the last time it's going to happen. All right, let's put those away and the ivory away. And let's do, what are we going to do? I think this guy's going to get a green hat. Green hat and green shirt. Yeah, let's do that. This is the dark, so I'm going to start with this one. Oops. My pens just fell over. Alright, so this part's going to be dark because it's folded over. And I'm just going to put a little bit of dark along there and definitely a little bit more off to this side here. And tapering it off as we get to the end. I'm going to do the same thing over here a little bit because there's probably a little fold there. So that's going to go down. Okay. I'm happy with that. And maybe is he wearing a green shirt? I think he'll have like blue jean kind of pants. Which I think I can do navy. I don't think there is red. No, we don't have cherry red. We do. Well, before we move on, let's finish. My brain's working about 7 steps ahead of my hands here. Okay, so let's take the light green parakeet party and just pull this darker color into the middle. Finish filling this guy in here. Just go over that so we get some nice shadow there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And pull this all together here. Just like that. Alright, so there's his hat. And you know what, while we have this green out, I'm going to color this little gnome. His shirt's going to be green. We have to find colors for our middle gnome. So our middle gnome, I think, is going to get a green, some green mitts. Don't want to introduce too many colors. But I also don't want it to be too boring. Ooh, we could do some starry sky. That's at least keeping the colors in the same family. I think we can do that. Okay, I'm just going to use shadow coming from the top so it's buried in his beard there. Okay. Oops. Alright, you know what? This guy, he's going to have a red hat. These are the colors. These ones. Oh, no, not light poppy. That's the wrong color. I'm going to stick with the in colors. We're going to do this guy. And I want my starry sky. There's starry sky in there. Okay. These are the colors we're going to stick with. Might pull in some gray, but that's neutral, so that doesn't count. Alright, this guy is going to get a red hat. Oh my goodness. Look at my fingers are so inky, I'm leaving ink on the pens. Huh. That is now stained in there. Oh well. I'm sure I'm going to use this all up. So this is the dark sweet sorbet. And we are just going to lay the dark color down where we're going to want that shading again. So on this side of the hat, he's going to have some. This part here where he's turned up his brim, I'm going to create that in the dark. Just trying to use my very, very tip so that it doesn't bleed into some of the other colors there. And then I'm going to have some dark go along this side here. And down into the tip of the hat over here. Alright, so let's bring in some red. Okay, so that's the light color. Just like that. Alright, so I'm not sure. I think he's going to have some mitts, some blue mitts. So add that dark again. Always starting with the dark so that we can lighten it up with the lighter marker and blend it out nicely. I like this color. Okay. So there's that guy. He's almost done. He just needs his boots done. So we'll get to that. I'm going to do this guy is going to have the blue pants. I think that's going to create them looking a little bit like jeans. So along the pocket and along the top of the pocket and just in here. It's unfortunately darker than the ink, so it is covering up his the stitching, but that's okay. I can live with that. Okay, and just down. Okay, and then we're gonna fill that in with the light. If you see me flipping my marker back and forth, it's because I'm trying to figure out which end is the end that I want, and I usually use the brush tips, so that's why I'm flipping it back and forth. I can't find on the barrel where it says. And I'm always looking for this line here. Okay. Now that he's done, I think this guy is also maybe going to have blue pants and a blue hat. And I'm going to add red to his shirt. So let's do the blue first. It's unfortunately going to cover that detail, I think, but that's, I can live with it. Go down that side, and then this is definitely going to have way more darkness because it's folded there. Okay, and then just a little bit along this edge too. Now my friend Wendy, when she taught me how to color with alcohol markers, she taught me the flick method, which is what I'm doing. So it's just little flicks of the marker to get those areas covered. It's not actually, when we were kids with a marker, we would color back and forth like this. That's not actually what I'm doing. I'm flicking the marker in short, sometimes longer motions to create that space coverage. And I want to try to cover an area completely in one flick motion if I can, because that's what gives it that really smooth look. Okay, there we go. Oh, I like his hat. So I think I said I was going to do his pants in blue too, right? And then give him a red shirt. So let's go in with the dark here. My dark is very full of ink, so it's kind of a little loopy. It blocks markering on me. Sometimes that happens when you have a lot of pressure buildup too in the marker, so that's okay. We might not have perfect moves tonight, but we'll make our best. We'll do our best. Okay. So that guy's pants are done. His shirt needs to be done. I said I was going to do it in red, and it's really just one sleeve. Whoops, wrong side. So that's the dark, and we are going to fill that in with the light. When I cap this marker off, because now I'm going to be done with the reds, I just want to show you what I do. So I do cap it, I make sure it's clicked, and then I do press the ends that I'm using into my board, so flat down into my board before I put them away, and that just makes sure that they are capped off and that the cap has a really good seal on it. I think I'm actually done with the blue ones too, so let's make sure those are pressed on there really well. We don't want the alcohol ink drying out. Now, okay, well his hat might blend in a little bit with his shirt. That's what we're gonna do. Right? The light. Just like that, and leave their beards. Could add a little bit of light gray. Let's see. Whoops. Yeah, let's do this. This is the light granite gray, so I'm just gonna add with the bullet tip a little bit of gray. I'm not really filling it in. I'm just, you can't even see it really on the video, can you? I've just added it a wee bit to the lines here. Maybe once I finish, you'll be able to see. That'll just add a little bit of dimension and definition to their beards. I do want their beards to be white, and I don't have a white marker. You could, if you wanted, add Wink of Stella to their beards, and then they would have sparkly beards. That would also help add some definition, but I don't want them to have sparkly beards. We're going to do them just like this. I actually think that looks great. Can you? Oh yeah, that helps you guys see the lines a little bit too, I think. I'll hold it up again here in a moment. Okay. There you go. Going to get, I rarely ever use the dark basic black, but I do often use the light. Pull in smoky slate though, I think, for most of the shoes. Here's the dark. Or sorry, this is the light basic black. I'm going to use that on the bottom of this one's shoes because I want those to be really dark. Again, it's going to sort of cover up those lines, but that's okay. They're going to be more of a tone-on-tone texturing. Okay, just like that. And then just like that. So he's done. That's going to go away. I've still got these two boots, so let's pull in. This is the dark, and this is the end that I need. So let's go pulling in some gray along here, and under the laces is probably going to be darker. Definitely along the bottom, and like that. And this guy, we're going to do the lantern, the outside of the lantern, all in the dark gray. And then I'll go over it in light gray just to put a little bit of difference in the coloring in different spots. And then in here, we're going to go like this because the body's going to have shadowed his shoes a little bit. And we just went outside of the line there. That's okay. Okay, and then we're going to blend that all together with the light. So just coloring those shoes in. How cute are these guys? Oh my goodness. Love it. Love it. I love coloring. This is my favorite thing. I know one of my friends she's another demonstrator. She went on a road trip, I think in early June, with her husband, and she took coloring stuff and she colored while he was driving. I'm contemplating how I would manage to get that done. I don't know if I can. If I could run a bunch of those gnomes through that we made last week for those tags, I could build some of those tags while we were gone. But I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that before we leave. We'll have to see. So I'm going to pull in, I'm going to use the light, that's the dark, I want the light Mango Melody, and that is what I'm going to use wrong tip to create the lantern here. There we go. Okay, so those guys are all colored in, so now let me put all my markers away and put them in my tray here so that I have room to bring out the stamping pattern off machine. I know it's a little noisy, sorry. Just get all of these guys tucked away in their area here. Leave this one away too. Okay, so my candy machine is going to come on in here. And, oh, are you going to do that? Yes, you are. Okay. I need my plate system. Not sure why I always try to go backwards. Oh, if I go this way, you'll be able to see everything. And I can get those guys all on there. So let's find my gnomes. So if I can get some of these guys cut while or before I leave, then I'm going to make some of those super cute. That is not the right one. This one is. Some of those super cute gnome tags we made last week. This would be super fun for for the Winnipeg Harvest lunch project. I might even pull out a whole bunch of retired cardstock and make them out of that. That would be a great way to use up my retired stuff and give back to the community. Okay. I'm just going to be in the way there for a moment until I get that started, and then we are going to run these through the die cutting machine. Oh my goodness. I love these gnomes. They are just stinking cute. Look at these guys. Okay. I think I'm going to want to put all three of them on that back. Sorry, I need to put these guys back onto the magnetic base here. So don't want to lose anybody. Alright, let's bring that buffalo plaid back in. And aren't those stinking cute? Oh my goodness. Love them. Love my gnomes. Okay. You're gonna go there. Really wish I hadn't stamped that. So crooked, but I don't want to redo it. Okay, I was thinking, maybe I don't have enough room for all three of them. Maybe you have to go more in the middle. Well, I thought I would be able to get these guys kind of side by side, but oh, what if I turn? I never make cards in this direction. But if I do that, then I have more room. This guy sitting up here, and this guy here, this guy kind of behind me there. Yep, that works. Or this is where I would usually get you guys to vote, but I'm not live, so I can't. Oh, there we go. That's what we need. I really need this to be straight. Okay, I am just going to redo this tag. Hang on a moment. All right, so I'm back. I have restamped this. I have also changed it. I had it stamped in this direction. I changed it to this direction, which is going to allow me to do it this way. And I think I can get all three of my guys on there. I also, though, I didn't like this just sitting there. I just felt like it's okay when it's in the little corner here. But if I have it in the corner, then I'm not getting, well, actually, I do have enough space for these guys. Well, for two, I can do it like that. But I thought that it looked kind of fun. Maybe I'm gonna need to make up my mind here what I'm doing. I thought it looked kind of fun to maybe have this across the bottom. So that's just a piece of cherry cobbler and a piece of black that I have cut 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. That can then go down there. This guy would go at the bottom. That guy there. And that guy right there. Maybe a little farther over this way. Like that. Which I think I like better, especially when I look in the camera. Just feel like it creates a little bit of grounding for things to be stuck down. So this is what we're going to do. I'm now going to take these two guys, put them over here, take this guy, put it here, this guy over here. I'm going to glue this down pretty straight on there. So I'm going to make sure that I am sitting on a line on my grid sheet. And we're going to glue it down 1, 2, 3 at the bottom of the 4 1/2 inch marker. So hang on a second. I want to make sure everything is straight. So I have that marker as a guide. I'm going to put my glue down flat on here. Just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes right here. Okay. Oops, I moved it. Alright, that's one there that way. That'll be the last thing that I do with glue, so that'll go away. Pull out my dimensionals. And flip this over. And put this up on dimension. Put it on all 4 sides here. And I don't think this comes apart from earlier. I recorded 4 videos for you today, and so you're probably seeing them in reverse order. On the last one, I started cutting this apart, but I recorded this one more last minute because I thought if I have time to record it, I'll record it, and then I'm not stressed on Wednesday when I'm supposed to be live with you, and I have an appointment that I'm not sure is going to allow me to make it back in time. So I thought rather than, being in a stressful situation and worrying, I'm still going to keep my commitment and meet with you guys, but I'm going to do it by pre-recording the video and then just coming on and watching it myself live with you so that I can respond to your comments. So I think that'll be kind of fun, and that's what I'm going to try to do while I'm away so that we can still connect. I know I have the videos recorded for you already for while I'm away, but it's a matter of, can I actually get, maybe? No, I can't either. Can I actually get online on those Wednesdays? Because it's going to depend on what we're doing. Okay, so they're going to go on with dimensionals. They need them on their bodies more than their feet, so we're going to keep the dimension up high. Whoops. Like that. And I'm going to put this guy down. Whoops. Making sure that I have enough room. Okay, so I'm just going to very carefully put him down. Yeah, that's about where I want him. So stick him there. And now this one, he's going to go. Oh, not their feet, Laura. I just finished saying, don't put it on their feet. You want it on their bodies. That should be high enough. There we go. I misjudged this one a little bit. All right. Let's hope I left. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So those guys are all down. Now my plan is to put that on here, but I'm not liking that now. I think I want it on the black. The black is going to make it pop more. I wasn't sure which way to go. And then on there. Oh, yeah, red. Even though I use cherry cobbler ink, that is looking a little bit, no, it's not. Well, it's looking like a lighter cherry cobbler. Okay, so I think I'm going to do it this way. So, let's cut my black first. I wasn't sure which way I was going to lay these out, so I didn't cut them. My black is going to go to 4 by 5 1/4. And that is going to provide me with a fine little mat here. Like that. And then it's going to go on a card base that is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Now, if I was using a white card base, I would have scored at 4 1/4 first, and then cut in 5 1/2, and that would give me 2 ready-made card bases. But I don't often do colored card bases, so I'm not going to do that with my colored cardstock, but definitely with my white. Especially my thick white, which I only use for card bases. That is how I prepare them. And that way, one cut gets me 2 card bases. Okay, there's that. I think I'm going to use tear tape to get this all glued down. Actually, this is designer series paper, so I can use my super quick seal. Assuming it's working today. There we go. Gotta get it started. Okay. And last one right there. Okay. So just lining that up. I usually try to line it up in at least 3 corners and glue it down from there. I'm going to have to come back. I can see I've got a little bit of glue popping out over here. That's fine. I'll come back with an adhesive eraser and take care of that. Now to glue that down on there. Oh my, isn't that cute? Love this card. Love those gnomes. I hope you guys have those gnomes and you're having so much fun creating with them, because I know I've only used them for Christmas cards, but I'm going to do a couple of birthday cards with them too. Maybe a like thinking of you type thing. We'll see. I saw the cutest sampler made with them on our demonstrator idea sharing site. I may just case that one, but I know it's the individual who made it, who's super talented and did such a beautiful job, said that it took them 6 hours. I don't know if I have 6 hours to do that in. I need to get some Christmas cards ready, more than what I'm sharing with you, because I need to have them in the shop where I have my stuff for consignment by September 1st. So I'm going to have to get cracking. All right. There you go. That is our card for tonight. How cute are those guys? And I was just dying to do this buffalo plaid technique with you last week, but I decided to use a sketch instead and walk us through that. And now here we are with this technique, and how cute did that turn out? I want to just thank you all for watching and joining me this evening. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be with you live, but I hope you liked the project regardless. And I hope that you are going to continue to create while I'm away, and that we will catch up when I'm back. And until then, happy stamping and enjoy the summer weather while it's here, guys. Bye.